Hello and welcome to another Agatebay cutting video. Today I have some of the last rough Laguna agates with me that I want to cut together with you. There's 2 larger sized pieces and 4 smaller sized pieces, so I will just take you through the entire process of how I decide on how to cut them. And I think we're just going to start off with this big yellow piece. It has a little window here on that side and a larger sized window over here. There it seems to have like some sort of carbonate inclusion, which I don't like a lot, and it seems to extend with a flow channel over here to that side. So I assume that this area here in this part of the nodule will be covered with the carbonate inclusion in the center cavity. So I think I will probably go for a cut that is going from down here where the window is broken over to that side. So I will probably not be hitting the biggest volume of the stone, but I do that for the reason to avoid the brown material in the center cavity of the druzy. I hope this works out because this material is expensive and I don't want to mess it up. Ready to go. So I cut the piece exactly how I wanted to do it, so just next to this window over here, far away from this brown siderite inclusion, next to the window here at the bottom, and then just this way. And it turned out beautifully, just gorgeous banding of this bright yellow in combination with this white, beautiful eyes here in the rim area, and it's only got a little bit of the brown siderite inclusion in the center, which I was trying to avoid. And if you want to, you could also actually take this out with an acid. That would be a possibility, but I think I will just leave it in the way it is, because I think it actually kind of adds to the interesting odd feature this piece has, but just gorgeous banding. So I think that's a really good cut. This is the second piece I'm going to cut. It has a window here over here on that side. It seems to have a little bit of fracturing going on. There's another fracture running here and another window that I can see here, so I definitely want to avoid this window and this window, and I think I can do that the best by just cutting it across here. So you can see both windows here on that side, so I will just cut next to it and once around this to have a nice tight banding in the agate center. The agate turned out pretty nice and it kept this bright banding in the center, as you can see. So it is a very nice flawless piece and even has some great parallax as well in the banding here. You will probably see this a lot better once it's polished, because you will be able to see the fine banding much better. So it's a really nice specimen. I wish it would be more banded throughout the entire piece, but I feel like I have too high expectations in my agates that I'm cutting, so I think I can be pretty happy with this one as well. The third agate shows one small window here at the bottom with yellow and like a tiny dot of super intense red banding. So of course I'm hoping that it will blow up in the center of the piece. It's a little bit weird shape of the nodule because this bottom part is kind of denting in the banding inside of the stone. So I have the chance to either cut it this way for a big face or this way for a smaller face but with tighter banding. So I think in this case I'm going to go for the round cut, and since the Laguna agates usually have pretty tight and contrasting banding as well, I feel like I probably have a pretty nice larger sized face if I cut it across the bigger face in this case.
Komplett anders als ich dachte.
Well, sometimes you imagine things about how agates might be turning out, but in the best will, I had not been able to think about what would be inside of this agate. I thought there would be a nice little red center, and it looks like there's a lot of matrix down here. So I cut it a little bit further to that side. So I try to avoid a little bit of the matrix and the dent here on the back side. And now I can't wait to show you how it turned out. Incredible specimen. Look at all the eyes here in the backside. Incredible pseudomorphs going on. This is a super top-notch Laguna agate. Incredible piece. Really fantastic specimen. Couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this. Next one up, and the fourth of the group, is this Laguna agate. It shows a yellow window here on that side, but it has smaller windows all across the entire piece, and you need to pay a lot of attention because this here you can see is covered with a layer of calcite, so the window is hardly visible and actually pulls over all the way to this side. So if you don't pay attention that there's yellow agate banding over here, you might not notice that this area is actually part of the window as well. And if you ignore that, you will cut through it and have the window and the interrupted banding. Since I know this is a window, I will cut right next to this part through this area here where it has these two small windows, across here, and yeah, hopefully get a nice yellow and blue agate out of it. Wow. Wir haben Glück heute. I have been pretty lucky with the Laguna agate so far, and I cut another beautiful specimen, another yellow one. And you can see it's just got gorgeous banding, super intense yellow color. It only has a little bit of a healed fracture over here on that side, and I think I also cut this perfectly because here in the back side you can see that it's actually opening up more, but in the center it has no agate banding but only of the quartz. So I think if I cut it any further behind I would have a larger quartz center. And here you can just see a tiny bit of the pink agate banding as well. So I think this one has just been hit perfectly. Another really nice agate. This one is kind of a surprise piece. I do not see any larger sized windows. I can only see some gray and white banding through that. So I think I will go for a cut along the biggest face like this, just once across like that. And I've been pretty lucky with the other one I've just been cutting earlier. So I hope the luck is with me again.
Weiß, aber sah auch gut aus.
It only stayed white, but has some beautiful parallax, no fractures running through the center, only a little bit of fracturing right here at the side of it, but also some beautiful eyes here in these sections. So another great cut for this Laguna agate badge. On the last piece I have two different options on how I can cut it. Here you can see it has some tubes going from the top to the bottom of the stone, and I can either cut it along with the tubes so they will look a little bit like stalactites, but then I have this large sized window up top here which I cannot cut through, so I will miss a lot of the top section if I decide to cut for the tubes. And there's only like a tiny window where I can cut in between. My decision will be to go through the agate in this kind of shape. So there's a window here that I want to avoid, so I will be cutting right next to that, and then in between here, and I will cut the tubes in a different angle, almost like in a 90-degree angle. So instead of them going downwards, I will cut them in the cross section and maybe have some beautiful eyes in the center of the stone. So we will see how it's going to unfold.
Wow.
So the last of the Laguna agates turned out incredible as well. So I've been super lucky to cut this lot of 6 pieces here together. Look at this. Just loaded with eyes. Maybe like 20 different eyes over the entire specimen. And these separate eyes here down below. Just beautiful pieces. Really fantastic agate. I'm super happy with this one. This is the entire batch of Laguna agates I've been cutting, and I have been surprised with some beautiful specimens. There's 3 stones that I would say are really nice specimens, but more still in the beginner type of agate collecting, with just gorgeous colors, but like tiny little flaws like the healed fracture over here. This one is another incredible piece that will be in a more affordable price region. Beautiful parallax and eyes, as well as this one. Pretty flawless piece with unique colors, but these 3 pairs will be relatively affordable. So if you are looking for some good Laguna agates but don't want to spend a ton of money, then these 3 pieces might be of interest for you. I like this piece a lot, and this is another incredible specimen here with these eyes, and the first one we cut as well, just a gorgeous piece with these colors. So I have been really lucky with this batch of Laguna agates, and yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up for it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see me cut more high quality agates. Also let me know in the comments down below which of these agates is your personal favorite, because I know tastes are different and maybe you like one or the other agate more than the other. So I think it's always interesting to see the different opinions about who likes which agate the most, because aesthetics are a matter of taste. So thanks for watching and enjoy your rest of the day.